You're watching News Channel 11 in your corner at 6.
It's hard to forget this image. A parent's worst nightmare, a speeding bus driver flips the bus, injuring more than 24 students, some of them critically. 3 years later, some bus drivers in that same school district are still speeding. Maybe not as much as that driver, but still well above the speed limit, and we have the numbers to prove it.
Yeah, the school system installed GPS monitoring devices on all 110 of its buses, in part to keep an eye out for any speeding. Our community watchdog requested that data, and his investigation uncovered 110 instances of GPS speeding in just 2 weeks.
Every time a bus hits a certain speed, usually 6 or 7 miles over the speed limit, the GPS sends an alert to district administrators. The GPS sent more alerts during a 2-week period last month for speeding than there are buses. Almost half were for drivers going at least 10 miles over the speed limit. And the district didn't punish a single driver.
Next thing I know, I hear the tire screech and we're starting flipping.
I'm just hoping my brother's okay.
These images may be difficult for parents to watch.
A bunch of us got out the back.
Why would someone that drives for the school drive that fast with our children?
But they prompted this proactive step. GPS monitoring devices.
Box right here.
You'll now find them on every Washington County, Tennessee school bus.
Transmit everything to that.
Something the kids probably don't even know is there.
I've always drove at a safe speed limit.
But you can bet bus drivers like Kathy Cruz are well aware.
They keep us safe and keep others safe.
The district spent $90,000 so far installing them at the beginning of 2014. The devices help the district keep tabs on mechanical and safety issues in real time.
As soon as you cut the ignition on it, it's on and working.
The GPSs also send alerts when there are problems.
I check it daily just to see if our drivers are still staying on task, if they are staying within the speed limit.
Dr. Roy Gillis says they make the ride to and from school safer.
This has made a difference in the speeding events as well as the safety events on our school buses.
But over on Summit Drive, Gary Onks hasn't noticed a difference.
I got grandkids riding the school bus.
He lives on the 600 block.
Both of us have hollered at them before.
It's a 30-mile-an-hour stretch of road.
2 out of 3 of them good drivers and keep it under control. One I can't say a whole lot about. Good about.
According to GPS data from the stretch of road where Onks lives, the driver's speed ranged from 39 to 43 miles per hour. The same driver went above the speed limit 5 times on other roads, too.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but people like that need to be put back in their place.
Public records show the district verbally reprimanded a driver for speeding 3 times on the same day on this same road last year. The top speed, 12 miles over the speed limit.
It was excessive.
The numbers show that driver actually went above the speed limit 11 times on that day. 11 instances of speeding over a full day as fast as 12 miles over the speed limit. That's unacceptable.
That's unacceptable.
Since installing the GPS devices, Dr. Gillis says the district's reprimanded 3 other drivers, all last year, all linked to a day's worth of speeding incidents.
Very few of our drivers will ever have an incident where they'll appear on this record for speeding.
Our investigation found 16 bus drivers were responsible for 121 speeding alerts over 2 weeks in October. On average, they went 9 miles over the speed limit, but some went even faster. Once you get to 12 miles over the speed limit, as a parent, I'd be concerned.
And we are concerned.
The system sent 17 alerts for one driver, once for going 54 in a 40 on this road in Gray. Yet the district didn't reprimand a single one.
I think it needs to be dealt with and more harsh.
Charlie Button knows about speeding bus drivers all too well.
Cheyenne Button, how old are you? 16.
Her head was scalped.
I know, honey, I know.
She had a broken neck and pieces fractured in her back.
And on their way for you.
His daughter, Cheyenne,
at first I thought she was already dead.
Nearly died after the 2012 Washington County bus crash.
I don't want nobody to ever go through what we did.
We showed him some of the numbers.
Just uncalled for. Cheyenne's going to have my first grandchild. Never will he ever ride a bus.
All righty.
Bus drivers take part in safety training every year.
Everybody ready?
This year's training took place around the same time we requested all of the speeding data.
Make sure you got your monitors.
Because of that training and our inquiries, Dr. Gillis says the drivers have become even more aware than ever.
Bus drivers know without a doubt that we're watching.
But if the district is not punishing them, what are administrators doing to hold them accountable? Dr. Gillis assures us he called the drivers and reminded them to slow down. But he says the data doesn't tell the whole story. He believes there were other factors at play.
That may have been on the same road where that person was maneuvering up a hill or down a hill.
He says sometimes the speed limit changes and the GPS doesn't update immediately to the new speed, which makes it appear like the bus is speeding when it's really not. That was the case in at least 11 instances. Back on Summit Drive,
They come off this hill, they just let it go.
Gary Onk says the rules are the rules.
I know they got a tough schedule and everything, but still, they need to stay in a speed limit. Especially these roads, you never know when somebody's going to back out in front of you.
The good news, out of 110 bus drivers, 94 were following the rules. And the assistant director of schools is convinced the rest have gotten the message. We've mapped out every one of those cases. You can find that map on our website, WJHL.com.
Nate, thank you. You can bet we're going to request another snapshot of data again in the coming months to see if that, in fact, is true. Now, this district was the first in the region that voluntarily installed GPS devices, and Nate found out Johnson City, Kingsport, and Sullivan County do not have GPS on their buses. That is, Bristol, Tennessee does, and administrators there can monitor speed, but the district is not able to receive alerts about speeding.